I am highly honored and feel privileged to have been given the opportunity to introduce you the chief guest for this session. He is the Managing Director of Lanka Wall Tiles PLC, Lanka Tiles PLC, Lanka Ceramics PLC, Swisstech Ceylon PLC, and Swisstech Aluminium Limited. He is also the chairman of Sri Lanka Cost and Management Accounting Standards Board. In his academic journey, he holds an honours degree in Business Administration from University of Sri Jayewardenepura and a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka. He holds a postgraduate diploma in Buddhist studies with distinction pass from the Postgraduate Institute of Pali and Buddhist Studies from University of Kelaniya. He recently completed a Master of Arts in Buddhist Studies from Postgraduate Institute of Pali and Buddhist Studies at the University of Kelaniya and awaiting results. He has served as an executive and non-executive director of many other listed and unlisted companies, while also as the president of the Sri Lanka Ceramics and Glass Council. Last but not least, he is the president of the Colombo Young Men's Buddhist Association. He is none other than Mr. Mahendra Jayasekara. We are happy to welcome you to this special occasion. I now invite Mr. Mahendra Jayasekara to deliver the Convocation Address.
Thank you, Professor, for your introductory remarks. The Chancellor, Professor Lakshman Ratnayaka, Vice Chancellor, Professor Lalit Gamage, Professor Joe Yates, members of the faculty, young graduates, and my dear parents. I am indeed honored to have this opportunity to come over here this morning to attend this convocation. I have to thank the faculty for inviting me. First of all of you, young graduates, and also the prize winners, and the gold medalists from Vattala, for your achievements and accomplishments. I also wish to compliment and congratulate your parents who are watching this session live for bringing up such wonderful children who graduated today, who will continue their life journey to add value to this society. I think it is very important for you to understand the purpose of education. The purpose of education, in my opinion, is to serve the society, is to add value to the society. The purpose of education, in your mind, should not be to make money. First and foremost, you have to keep in your mind that the purpose of education you receive today is to add value to the society. In doing so, you will add value to yourself, you will add value to your family, you will add value to your society, and you will add value to your country. You are excelling in your chosen field. It could be engineering, it could be business management, it could be architecture, it could be psychology, or it could be whatever the other fields you have chosen to pursue. Excelling in what you do is important. In whatever you do, you have to excel in. And in doing so, you should not forget the fact that the knowledge you have received through this education today may be obsolete tomorrow, may become obsolete tomorrow, may become irrelevant tomorrow. So, if you go out of this theater thinking that I have got my education, I have got the necessary knowledge to pursue my life goals, then you are mistaken. You have to keep in your mind that the knowledge needs to be updated. It has to be updated every day. Education is a life journey. And I would like to encourage your parents to support in that life journey of updating your knowledge, updating your skills, enhancing your knowledge and enhancing your skills to face future challenges in life. When you seek new knowledge in your life, there are certain things you need to understand. One very important thing is to understand the theory of knowledge. What is theory of knowledge? What we call epistemology. 4,000-5,000 years ago, people thought knowledge comes from divine sources. People thought knowledge is God-given. They are called traditionalists. Traditionalists thought the knowledge is God-given, it comes from divine sources. We still have that traditional thinking in ourselves as well, because why I say that is, not so long ago, when we started combating coronavirus, we gave some prominence to traditionalism. And I thought at that moment, traditionalism overpowered science and reason. After traditionalists came rationalists. Rationalists argued that traditional way of seeking knowledge is wrong, and you will not get new knowledge through traditionalism. Rationalists thought knowledge comes from logical reasoning. Knowledge is within you, and knowledge is unearthed through logical reasoning. They are called rationalists. Then came another set of people who came up with another theory of seeking new knowledge. They are called empiricists. Empiricists are the people who argued that traditionalists are wrong, rationalists are wrong, knowledge doesn't come from divine sources, knowledge doesn't come from logical reasoning, knowledge comes from experience. Empiricism. Then came to the world skeptics. Skeptics are the people who always doubted new knowledge. They doubted traditional knowledge. They doubted rational knowledge. And they doubted empiricist knowledge. Epistemologists argue today that the people who made the biggest contribution to development of knowledge in the world are the skeptics. Skeptics are the people who always doubted, like your lecturers. They would have always tried to test your knowledge, whether you have understood. What you are saying is right, what you are saying is wrong. And that puts you on guard to make sure whatever you do is right. You think twice, maybe thrice, maybe 4 times, 5 times before you come up with something new. So skeptics are the people who contributed most according to epistemologists, to development of knowledge in the world.
This message is from the future. If you are ready to face the future, you will need a place to start where the future meets the present.
SLIIT 2022 main intake for student admission starts now, with bachelor programs in computing, engineering, business, architecture, financial mathematics, law, nursing, psychology, hospitality and culinary, and many more. SLIIT, the future awaits you.
So after empiricists came another theory. That is the religious theory of knowledge. Religious theory of knowledge is based on what we call rational empiricism. Logical reasoning coupled with experience. Buddha was a rational empiricist. That rational empiricism is called proper reflection in Buddhism. And in Pali, it is called Yoniso Manasikara. Maybe you would have heard that. Jesus Christ was a rational empiricist. And Muhammad Nabi was a rational empiricist. So from about 2,500 years ago onwards, it was rational empiricism that was accepted as the way to gain new knowledge. And in your studies also, what you practice is rational empiricism. Because you have theory and then you experiment and experience. And that is how you gain new knowledge. Now, when you do that, when you pursue your studies, when you go out of this place, this university, to the society, you have to make sure, you have to ensure that the knowledge you have so gained is not political. You should not say, I understand because I believe. That knowledge is political, that thinking is political. You have to always make sure, when you say something, you say, I believe because I understand, which is intellectual. And your knowledge should be intellectual. And you should not allow traditionalism overtake you, overpower you, overwhelm you. I am not saying that you should give up your beliefs. You can have your beliefs. But I want to tell the parents also. As parents, we should encourage our children to seek knowledge through rational empiricism and make sure that traditional beliefs don't overwhelm the knowledge we have so gained. That is fundamental. Then only you will have room in your mind for science and reason. And you should, as educated people, educated citizens, have respect for science and reason. And you should always remember that the people who will challenge you in society are not as educated as you. It will always be less educated people who will challenge your knowledge. You go to companies, most companies are owned by the people who are dropouts, maybe from universities. And they are the people who will challenge your knowledge. And remember, don't find fault with me when I say this. People who have revolutionized this world are mostly the people who came last in class. They are the people who revolutionized this world. So you have to have respect for the knowledge of other people, the knowledge they have gained through experience in society. That is very important. What does it mean? It means something about human potential. Now, as humans, I am sure in this audience, we have graduates of all faiths. It could be Catholicism. You may be a Christian, Catholic, a Buddhist, or maybe a Muslim of Islamic faith, or maybe a Hindu. And all religions have one thing in common about the human potential. That is, human potential is the same. There is no difference in human potential between an uneducated person and an educated person. Why do I say that? According to Catholicism, if you are a Catholic, is going to heaven easy? No. Going to heaven is not easy. If you are a Hindu, going to heaven is easy? Not easy. If you are a Buddhist, attaining nirvana is easy? No, it is not easy. But no religion says that you have to be educated to achieve that goal. You have to be well born to achieve that goal. You have to be rich to achieve that goal. You have to come from a good school to achieve that goal. You have to come from a good family to achieve that goal. Everybody can get there. What does that mean? Human potential is the same as long as people work hard and diligently. So that is why you should not underestimate the knowledge of other people who will challenge you. That is very, very important. And since I said something about the human potential in religions, I thought I'll say something extra also. That is, okay, maybe it comes from my background, my studies in Buddhism, and the positions I hold in those associations. All religions have things in common. One is the human potential, as I said. And the other thing is all religions have three fundamental components. One is the spiritual component, the spiritual theory. Then you have what we call the economic theory and the political theory. It could be Buddhism, it could be Hinduism, it could be Jainism, it could be Islam, it could be Catholicism. All these religions have these three components: the spiritual theory, the economic theory, and the political theory. Spiritual theory, we have heard enough. Okay, in Buddhism, it could be three characteristics, four noble truths, dependent co-origination, and the noble eightfold path. Then we have the economic theory. What professions to be in, what trades to be undertaken, how to make money, how to spend that money, how to live in the society. That's all in economic theory. Then you have the political theory, the least spoken by all in society, I would say. The political theory. So what is religious political theory? This is very important to understand. When I was studying for my master's in Buddhism, I came across this political philosophy of religions. Now, Buddhist political theory is very profound. What does it say? Buddhist political theory has three components. I am sure all other religious political theories are the same. It has three components. What are these three components? One is called the limited citizenship theory. On this side, you have the theory of ethics. And on this side, you have theory of no self. So it's a triangle like this. You have the limited citizenship theory, you have the theory of ethics, and you have theory of no self. So when I came across this, I asked my lecturer, Reverend Monk, who is also a professor, I asked him, Venerable, where did you find this? Because this is so new. And I told him that it overwhelms me. So he told me in 2016, a professor of political science in California Polytechnic University wrote a book. The title is Buddhism and Political Theory. So in writing that book, he analyzes various discourses, which I don't want to go into. What this theory says is, it's very interesting. Buddha says, if you are a citizen of a country, you should be politically conscious and politically active. Your political consciousness and political active status are for what? Are for what purpose? The purpose is to connect ethical and selfless people to government. If you don't connect ethical and selfless people to government, according to Buddha, you are not a full citizen in that country. You are a limited citizen in that country. Like a PR holder. From Sri Lanka, we apply for PR in Australia. We apply for PR in Canada. We apply for PR in the UK. It's like that. Because you are not acting as a citizen.
මේ පණිවිඩය අනාගතයෙන් හෙට ජයගන්න අදම සූදානම් වෙන ඔබට ගැලපෙන්නේ අනාගතය හා වර්තමානය එකතු වෙන තැනක්.
ස්ලිට් 2022 නව අයදුම්පත් බාර ගැනීම ආරම්භුණා. පරිගණක ඉංජිනේරු ව්‍යාපාර ගෘහ නිර්මාණ මූල්‍ය ගණිතය නීතිවේදය හෙද විද්‍යා අධ්‍යයනය මනෝවිද්‍යාව ආගන්තුක සත්කාර ඇතුළු උපාධි පාඨමාලා රැසක් ඔබ වෙනුවෙන්ම. ස්ලිට් හෙට දකින ඔබ වෙනුවෙන්.
And I believe a lot of problems a lot of countries have today are due to not following this doctrine of political theory. If you act as a citizen of a country, then you always connect ethical and selfless people to government. If you don't, that means you are not a full citizen. You are not acting as a citizen. That is why when you go to other countries, if you apply for citizenship, you have to face an interview. They will not just give you citizenship. They will test your eligibility to think as a citizen, whether you can think as a citizen. Now, I don't wish to ask you how many of you are planning to leave this country. I don't wish to ask your parents how many of you are encouraging your children to go overseas. Because I have friends who have told me they sent their children overseas telling them never come back. Because I know the answer I get from this audience and also the parents will destroy me and it will overwhelm me. You are in a fortunate position. You are in an enviable position because of your education and the qualification. You may be able to go overseas and maybe live overseas. Sometimes you may never come back. But we have to always also think about other children out there who don't have the opportunity you have. And as parents, we also have to think about other parents who don't have the opportunity. I am sure your parents had tears of joy when they saw you walking up the stage to receive your graduate certificate. That's why I congratulate them on your accomplishments. So, you have to keep building competencies. And your competencies should be world-class. Nothing but world-class. If you have world-class competencies, the world market will absorb you. Within seconds, the world market will absorb you. But if your competencies are not world-class, the world market will not absorb you. So, as a nation, we should strive to build world-class competencies in our people. If we build world-class competencies, we will be able to uplift this country to a very different level. And we have to encourage our young children to build competencies, seek new knowledge. So I think it is important for parents also to think that way. They have to encourage children to build world-class competencies. Connect our children with institutions that can build world-class competencies. And as a country, we need to build institutions that can build world-class competencies in our people. If we don't do that, we will fail. So, what I want to ask you is, you have to think as citizens of this country, not as permanent residents in this country. So you have to understand your obligation and duties towards the country. Your parents also need to do so. Then only as a society we will come up. Then only as a society we will change. As children, in your journey so far, in your life journey so far, you have been fortunate because you have been sheltered and protected by your parents. But it will not be there forever. It will stop one day, and you will be on your own. You will be on your own in the society. So, you can't really begin to appreciate life until it has knocked you down a few times. You will begin to appreciate life only you have been knocked down. And maybe you will be knocked down by the society several times before you start appreciating life. Once you have walked through the valley, the view from the mountain top is breathtaking. I thank all of you for this valuable opportunity.